Really impressed with the guys and their approach to the game. We took a little bit of a just different approach by giving them a few days off, almost a week off, coming out of the game in Pullman. And I think a real credit to these guys, especially the leaders, coming back ready to work when we came back Saturday. And I thought their energy was fantastic throughout the week, the preparation, and it showed tonight. We played a really good football game. Again, I thought defensively to hold that offense to whatever it was, that number of plays was a fantastic effort. I thought we really felt like coming in, the passing game was going to be the strength to the game, and it showed up. Nelson was just a fantastic ball game. Cody was really efficient again. All in all, it's a really good win in November. And sometimes they're not always going to be as pretty as you like, but it's a good win to get. We're 2-0 in November. Obviously, we've stated all along the goal is to be 4-0 in November and see what happens. And we're on track to do that still.
Coach, it's almost human nature when you're up 31-2 to relax. Did you feel that happened at all?
I really don't feel that from our guys. I didn't feel that. Early in the year, maybe we could have been that way. I didn't feel that from our guys. Cal's a good football team, and we knew it all along. Their offense at some point would start clicking. We wanted to continue to remain aggressive offensively. I wish we would have performed a little better in the red zone. A couple opportunities. We had some touchdowns called back. We had an interception in the red zone. I think we left some points on the board for us, but I don't think we let down. I think Cal's a good team. We need to find a way there late in ball games to continue to play with confidence, probably more than anything else, quite honestly. I don't think our guys thought the game was in the bag. I think because of the season that we've had and because of some of the types of games that we had, sometimes that can creep into the back of your mind, and that can have an effect on how you're playing tonight. We're a better team today than we were, a month and a half ago. And my talk to the team as we move forward is going to be about continuing to play with our confidence, that our capability to make the plays that we've been making all game long, because the game didn't change. They were running the same plays. We have the ability to play better than that, and we'll work on it.
Sorry, the penalties were obviously a huge issue tonight. Did you notice anything?
I'm going to refrain from getting a fine.
Steve, we ran a story today at the time of Josh speaking publicly for the first time since August. Do you have a reaction to it?
I didn't get a chance to read it, quite honestly. I've got people like count on to read it and to give me a synopsis of it. It sounds relatively accurate. We'll see where it goes from here. There's really nothing new for me right now. It hasn't reached my desk. It hasn't reached Pat's desk. So we'll see where it goes from here.
Hey Steve, is there a chance he comes back, or is that not even in your hands at this point?
I can't really answer it because I don't know yet. If it ever would get to my desk, then I'd make a decision. But until that happens, we'll just be here to continue to support Josh as best we can in every aspect that we can up until now. And then if it gets to that point, we'll make a decision.
Nelson, sometimes athletes say that they get into a zone in a game. Did you feel like you were in a zone tonight?
I think my job is to try my best to get open. And, Coach called great plays, and Cody gave me opportunities.
Steve, you've coached a lot of great receivers over the time. And Nelson did something that no one has ever done before, 200 yards receiving, back-to-back games. Your thoughts on the player that he's
I'll credit Nelson on this, and I know I say this a lot, but I'm a big believer in when you practice really well and you prepare yourself in practice and you practice hard, the results show up on game day. And this guy practices his tail off every time we go out. We after the Washington State game is a great game. The next day we're in there. He's the first guy on the field. We don't have practice, and he's on the jugs machine catching balls. So I think work ethic pays off. Hard work pays off. Somebody sent me a saying last night. Actually, my wife did, that it's not good things that come to those who wait. It's good things that come to those who work their asses off. And that's what this guy does, and it pays off. He had, I think, an 80-yard touchdown call back too tonight. So it pays off.
Hayes, you're getting ready to play UCLA for the last time in your career. What's going through your mind? Just first of all, we got to just take care of this win. Just love one another. Like I said, continue to get this confidence back rolling and closing games. When that time comes to watch film, we'll be ready.
Steve, the USC radio broadcast said tonight that Bryce Dixon was not here for undisclosed reasons. Can you tell us why?
Yeah, it's a student conduct issue. I really not privileged to talk about it quite yet. It's an ongoing process, but it's a student conduct issue more than anything else.
Steve, how will the next game help define the season? You guys have had some tough wins, tough losses, but it seems like this next one is like the one that everyone kind of looks towards.
Right. As I said before, when we kind of got through the stretch and we were looking at November and we were looking at our schedule, the goal is to go 4-0. And we've got to 2-0. We've got 2 really good wins. UCLA is the next game on the schedule, and we can't get to 4-0 until we get to 3-0. And we're fortunate that we get a little bit extra time to prepare, to get ourselves fresh again, to put together a really good game plan in all 3 phases, and go play a really good football team and see what happens.
Nelson, the stat mentioned the 2 200-yard games in a row. To have that kind of history, what does that mean to you personally?
Really can't think about that right now. I'm still thinking about third down conversion I didn't catch. So that's what's on my mind.
Steve, it'll be your first time as head coach of USC for rivalry week. I know it's only been like 20 minutes, but does it feel any different as you get ready for that game in this new role?
Well, I've been part of this game so many times. I love this rivalry. I think it's a uniquely special one in college football, and it divides households. I have 2 older sisters that graduated from UCLA, so I got to keep one eye on them all week too. So, this is what college football is about. You get into late November, you're playing the rivalry games. Not only is it a rivalry game, but it's a game that really matters in our conference standing. So it's bigger than just playing UCLA. This is a factor in first place in our conference potentially. So a lot that goes into it. And I think one of the things you can do is you can go 2 ways. One, you can get caught up in all that, and then you don't go out and perform and execute really well. Or you recognize that it's a great game, it's a great opportunity, and you leave it over here and you go to work. And you prepare yourself mentally, physically, emotionally until you get to Saturday, and the emotions will be the emotions, but you've prepared really well for that game. And so that's where our focus will be on.
You've been saying that you want to be a run-first team, but the way you've been throwing the ball for the past month, do you have to kind of reconsider that?
Well, as I've said before, every game is different. Every game takes on its own personality. And you have a game plan that you go into that you believe in, where your strengths are, with the matchups for the team you're playing, for the schemes for the team you're playing. And we've just felt like the last few games that's been a real positive for us. It's been a strength of ours, and we've tried to take advantage of it. I think we've done a pretty good job of it. Cody's playing at a very high level. The wideouts are playing at a high level. I'd like us to run the ball better, quite honestly. So we got to get better at it. We have to. Just because it's the middle of November doesn't mean you can't improve. And so that'll be a big focus of ours moving forward here early in this next week is, reestablishing ourselves on the ground and where our strengths are and where are some of the weaknesses that we need to improve upon to get better.
What do you think you've been sidetracked in that regard from running the ball?
It's hard to say exactly. I feel like we've been okay at the point of attack, quite honestly. We haven't allowed our runners many opportunities to get to the second level. So we have to evaluate scheme first. We have to evaluate our techniques, our fundamentals to make sure those are sound. And then ultimately, are we defeating the man across from us? Because when it comes to running the football, you get single blocks ultimately at some point, and then you have to make that block, and then the runner at some point has to make that run. So we'll look at all that stuff, and we'll find the best thing that suits us so that we can be successful running the football, because that's what really good teams do, is they find that balance, they have the ability to run it. Go ahead, Mike. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know what your feelings were when Darius secured the onside kick, especially after the Arizona game, where they got
We won. It's always great to win, man. It's 2-0 November. See you guys.